Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host Gersh1, and today we continue talking about Chaos Space Marines as we get into a demon ship of the Iron Warriors. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you have any suggestions for topics, please comment down below. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. It is because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Soul Harvester. A Soul Harvester is like no spacefaring ship in existence. It is a massive spaceborne fortress factory created by the warpsmiths of the Iron Warriors Legion. It consists of a central demon forge surrounded by snaking tentacles of hell-forged metal. These parasitic engines embed themselves deep into a target planet's crust, their boarding tentacles disgorging Iron Warriors into weak points in the enemy defenses. Meanwhile, the roaring furnace at the structure's heart feeds upon flesh, metal, and the souls of the slain in order to spew out fresh demon engine reinforcements from the world's own resources in order to support the heretical Astarte invasion. The insides of a Soul Harvester is a twisted and cramped domain. It teeters between dimensions. Metal corridors pulsate as if belonging to a living being, and in truth, the insides of a Soul Harvester are very similar to a massive spacefaring creature. Each ferrocrete and plasteel wall moves as if attempting to come to life through the ruinous touch of chaos. Leering faces follow the passengers, jealous of their corporeal existence. The screams of the tortured are overshadowed by the otherworldly roars of caged demons waiting to be set free or enslaved inside the bodies of demon engines. Thousands upon thousands of slaves and servitors toil away, running across hallways and launch bays, ever vigilant of their master's whip, or even worse, an escaped demon that could tear them limb from limb. It's hard to tell what is from this world and what exists trapped between the immaterium and real space. Ghosts and revenants perform the same movements over and over again, as if trapped in their own minds, reliving the same action for all eternity. And then there's the loud and thunderous sounds of Iron Warriors training their cultists, prepping them for war. Although to most, it seems as if these chaotic demigods are simply torturing slaves. More of a spaceborne factory than a starship, this metal monster was powered by an immense live demon forge, a product of the Iron Warriors' darkest experiments in metamorphosis and warp engineering. It would be the first such creation to be tested in battle during the Taladus War, launched by Cor Pharaon against the Taladus system in the Veritas subsector. With its vast alpine ranges and city-sized citadel fortresses, the fortress world of Grandask was the most heavily defended planet in the Taladus system, aside from their capital cardinal world of Benediction itself. Its 7 great hive cities provided billions of souls for the Astra Militarum, and its deep reserves of promethium and the super-dense minerals only added to Grandask's critical value to the Imperium, making it an irresistible target to chaos. It would be the Soul Harvester, Skarax Krond, that latched itself to the surface of the planet like an immense parasite, thrusting pseudopods the size of blocks deep into the earth. These snaking tentacles pulverize their way through the rock and stone with siege drills and melta cannons before bursting up from the earth within the walls of the planet's citadel fortifications. Heretical Astarte warriors marched forth, unleashing deadly volleys of bolt-around into the unprepared foe. At the same time, Chaos Knights lumbered from the gatehouses of the Soul Harvester, bellowing oaths of destruction as they set upon the armored formations of the Astra Militarum. Tank after tank was blasted into molten slag, and the arcs of heavy bolter fire obliterated entire formations of the planet's infantry. All the while the Soul Harvester glutted itself upon the aura of death and destruction. Blasted corpses and twisted wreckages of shattered war machines were shoveled into its furnaces, as the warpsmith, Etrogar, and his Iron Warriors stoked the hellish fires with the souls of the slain. The Soul Harvester spewed out tides of demon engines, from scuttling spider-like venom crawlers to hulking mauler fiends that galloped into battle, eager to mutilate and destroy. Soon the Loyalists were in full flight, retreating to the polar citadels of Fortress Resolve, where they prepared to make their final stand. Just as the cruisers of the Iron Warriors prepared orbital bombardments that would blast open the last pieces of resistance on the planet, the Chaos Fleet picked up a surge of warp disturbances. Suddenly, 2 enemy capital ships dropped out of orbit. They were black vessels bearing the stark white cross of the righteous Black Templars chapter. Castle Andromos led a single strike force detached from the Rutherian Crusade, all that could be spared due to the Black Templars' extensive campaigns elsewhere across the Segmentum Solar. Fortunately, Dramos could also call upon the cadres of Imperial Knights from House Morton, commanded by the dour yet ferocious Sir Dirkwold. Dramos scanned the latest tactical cognition broadcast from the Fortress of Resolve. The situation was grim. The Iron Warriors were besieging the Polar Citadel, pouring demonic forces against the shield wall, while their siege tanks kept up a relentless bombardment. Yet the true threat, Dramos quickly realized, was the Soul Harvester. As long as the Soul Harvester's Demon Forge was operational, the traitors could replenish their forces indefinitely. It was then decided that Strikeforce Dawnhammer would deploy in a decisive attack upon the Soul Harvester. The warriors of House Morton made for the surface of the planet in their fortified bulwark landers, the heavily armored vessels shrugging off reams of flak fire. Sir Dirkwold led a frontal assault upon the Soul Harvester. From the parapets of the Demon Forge, Iron Warriors poured a stream of fire down upon the advancing Loyalist. While the Knights drew the attention of the Chaos Defenders, squads of Inceptors descended upon the Soul Harvester like living comets. Burning through the upper atmosphere and locking coordinates upon the pulsating shell of the Harvester, they struck home with shattering force, breaching holes in the flesh metal carapace with demolition charges, even as they fended off flocks of fire-spitting Helldrakes. Castle and Dramos led the assault into the heart of the Soul Harvester, battling through the innards of the Iron Monster alongside a retinue of veteran Crusaders. The assault team suffered grievous wounds as the Iron Warriors assailed them at every turn, but in an act of self-sacrifice that would mark their names in the honor scrolls of their order, Dramos and his command squad managed to detonate a cyclonic charge at the heart of the structure. The resulting warp explosion swept through the Soul Harvester, immolating loyalists and heretics alike, and blasting its assembly halls and factories to atoms. The Soul Harvester convulsed and thrashed its metal tendrils like a wounded animal, but its demonic furnace would not be snuffed out that easily. Dramos' sacrifice brought the defenders of the planet precious time, but the planet's fate still hung in the balance. And those were 40 facts on the Soul Harvester. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, share it with your friends on Facebook, Reddit, whatever social media you guys use. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. If you guys have suggestions, comment down below, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Oh, I did the